Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in. And let's start off with the idea of a $589 XRP. First off, I just want to say this. If you are looking at any price over, I'm just going to say around like $20 to $30 for XRP within the short time frame, then you are going to end up waiting for a very long time on XRP. And a lot of people will tell me, Nick, you're absolutely crazy. We don't have to wait that long for these prices to realize in. I just want you all to realize that things are going to take time to blossom into reality. You know, regulations, discussions around how to implement this technology, all that kind of stuff. Like, there's going to be a lot of time in between now and the day that XRP is trading over like $100, for an example, right? But also, I want you guys to realize that the value of XRP could easily be, worth $100 plus. I've talked about this many times in the past. One of the price figures that always gets thrown up around XRP is the $589 price prediction. And to some people, it is a mystery. Like, why are people talking about a $589 XRP? Well, initially when the market cap of XRP was only $27 trillion, and I'm not talking about the actual market cap, I'm just saying the prediction around XRP was $27 trillion. It was initially worth $589 or around $589 when we had the supply there. But now, that we have a little bit more supply released from the escrow, and, now that we can look at what the price of, XRP would be. Well, I shouldn't say the price, but the market cap of XRP at the price of 589 would be. Here you guys have it. Now, does market cap matter? Not necessarily when we look at like what could happen eventually on in time around like regulations and discussions around how almost all the coins out there, a very large percentage of them, 99%, could be decimated, and that market cap will flow into other assets that are fully regulated, that have regulatory clarity. And if XRP is the first asset to get that, then yeah, we could see a ton of money pour into XRP, and it could push the price higher than what most anticipate. But again, I shared my thoughts on that. I'm looking at like, $20 to $30 with a possible $50 price tag on XRP, excuse me, if we do see a full-on settlement and we do see a lot of that money pour into XRP. And a lot of this is life-changing gains. I mean, like anything over a 50x return is pretty substantial if you are positioning yourself for that. But yes, when we talk about a $589 XRP or even a $500 plus XRP, I've always said that it is possible. I mean, even taking you guys back over a year ago to November of 2021, I said I just want to say that if Ripple and XRP could solve the $27 trillion Nostro Vostro problem, we could be looking at a possible $500 plus XRP in the future. With all of the liquidity solutions they continue to innovate with and launch, I feel like we are getting closer and closer. Now, are we going to see this happen before 2030? Are we going to see it happen in 2025? Like, we have no way of predicting this at all. And honestly, I'm going to be upfront with all of you. We could never see a $500 XRP in our lifetime. Things like this it's hard to say like when it could happen, if it will happen. I've seen so many price ranges for XRP in the $100 range to $1,000 range, from $1,000 to $10,000 to $10,000 to $100,000. Like, I've seen so much crazy talk around XRP's actual value, but I'm more so on the lower end of things. Like, to me, I think that $100 XRP at a $5 trillion market cap, I mean, this is a substantial amount, but if you care about market cap, yeah, you're going to be focused on the market cap. But what I'm looking at is how large of an innovation XRP is really bringing to the table around, payments and fintech. And I think that the overall value that XRP is unlocking is massive. And I think that once it does achieve its mission, I think that once it achieves its goal, then yeah, I think that we will see a massive valuation put on XRP. And, the Nostrovostro account problem, yeah, they have been targeting that for a while. I mean, even going back to 2018, for an example, shout out to XRP_Crow for this, we do see Ripple's using XRP to solve a global payments problem. There's literally $27 trillion of money parked around the world between banks in order for them to settle payments between themselves. But it's not only banks, though. Like, you got to understand, like, this is $27 trillion between banks. Like, think about how many businesses are holding funds and accounts just to make payments cross-border. Think about the individuals out there that are also making cross-border payments on a day-to-day basis, paying massive, fees. Like, XRP is solving for a lot of this through their cross-border payment mechanism. So when we think about the value, it's much larger than 27 trillion. Now, I have seen a lot of people say, like, all of the money, all of the money, all of the money. And I do want to bring up this tweet here from Crypto Airy. I actually have 2 tweets from her. I highly suggest you go check her out on Twitter as well as on YouTube. But we do see here, JP Morgan hints the RTP network could disrupt cross-border payments December 2022. I wish there was an all the money, or sorry, I wish there would be an all the money on the XRP ledger, but the truth is, that will not be the case. And yes, I've always said, like, when we look at all of the money around XRP, it's great to talk about. It's great to discuss, like, what could happen with all of the money. But to be completely honest with you guys, like, it's always illogical to think about, like, okay, yeah, all of the money will be sourced over the XRP ledger. Like, it's not going to happen like that. And we're kind of seeing, the truth behind that. We're seeing a lot of DLT mechanisms being brought up, discussed, and even planned around. There's a ton of money here, and I think that a lot of these DLTs have room at the table to eat. And I've said this many, many times on this channel. I think that with how much money is going to be pushed over DLT technology in the coming years, I think that a lot of these assets are going to be very, very exciting to not only be holding, but to be a large investor in. And I think that XRP definitely is one of them. I think that XRP itself is one of those tokens that will change the way that value is moved, transacted, and even settled. And as I said in my video from the other day, that demands a much higher price. And a lot of these, platforms that are being designed by, like, JP Morgan, like, well, I should say, this is funded by JP Morgan. It's not designed by them, but it's Partior, right? And this is a cross-border payment platform. But the thing is that they are extremely different than what Ripple is doing. Because when you look at this, they're not solving the Nostrovostro problem. The Nostrovostro problem is a substantial one. I mean, like, this is a big deal. And when we look at that, right, it's a $27 trillion problem, and we know that Ripple is focused on this. They've been focused on it for so long. I think that this is going to be a substantial innovation. I think that this is going to be a big, big stepping stone around payments. It's a mystery on what the value of XRP will be, but we could start calculating it off of what that value would be off of, like, what we see being disrupted. But even going back to 2018, like, this is from Ripple, unlocking global liquidity bottlenecks with RippleNet. And again, like, when we look at liquidity, like, liquidity is a substantial part to everyday life. Liquidity allows for things to move on a day-to-day basis. And we need real-time settlement in our system as well. Like, right now, I would argue that, real-time settlement is probably one of the most crucial problems to solve right now, especially around, like, Swift and global networks alike. And I think that XRP could provide that substantial innovation, that next stepping stone around tech with payments. And I think that Ripple will become a major player around cross-border payments, around liquidity, around CBDCs, all that kind of stuff. They have been preparing, for this for a very long time. Obviously, yes, we do need to get over the major stepping stone, which is the SEC lawsuit, which I think that we will get to at some point in time. But one thing that I would love to know around XRP that makes me extremely bullish is also how much XRP is burned on every transaction. If you have something like we'll say Swift network, start utilizing Ripple technology with XRP, then there's going to be transactions that continue to be transacted on a second, like, every single second, every single day. I mean, think about it, right? Swift moves $5 trillion per day. Okay? Think about how much XRP would be burned if there was $5 trillion per day moving over, like, the XRP ledger. Right now, there's been about 10.8 million XRP burned. And the reason why I bring this up is that, like, a lot of people say there's no way XRP could get to this price, that price, whatever. But if we see XRP adopt it in globally, this changes everything. Because if we can get to the point where we're seeing like 1,000 transactions per second, because right now we're at about like 11, I think like the average is like maybe 10, maybe 8 or something like that. But if we see 1,000 TPS, and I even said this for HBAR as well, because HBAR, would significantly increase in value if it did have like 1,000 TPS. With who Ripple is focused on, like the main players around like fintech, finance, payments, all that kind of stuff, and we're seeing like a lot of transactions. Like this is every single day. Like you could see all the transactions and things like that going over XRP. You could also see a lot more information around like the XRP ledger statistics as well. If we start getting like to 1,000 TPS, imagine how much XRP would be burned. I mean, like this is what we are seeing on some of these transactions, and you could see it. Like this was about 0.1 XRP. There was about roughly, you could see the total coins that were moved here. So there was roughly almost 100 million, or sorry. All right, so this is the total coins. Sorry, that's not what I meant to look at. I wanted to see how much was moved in this transaction, but I don't think. All right, so here we have amount 103 XRP. They paid a 0.1 XRP fee. So, if we're talking about how much XRP would be paid out and burned on a lot of these transactions, imagine moving $5 trillion per day and how much XRP would actually be burned. I mean, so far, in the 10-year time frame, we've seen about almost 11 million XRP burned. That is a substantial difference when you go and look at how much XRP is out there, but it's not making a big dent in the total supply, which is 100 billion. But imagine how much XRP would be burned if we start to see 1,000 TPS and, having that $5 trillion moving over XRP in terms like the XRP ledger and settled through XRP. Like the fees would be so substantial, the amount of burning would be substantial. I mean, we could see, well over like 10 million XRP being burned per year. I would say, it could even be in like the 100 million to possibly even 1 billion area. But then you kind of question on like, okay, well, how much XRP is going to be left for the general public if we get to like 1 billion XRP being burned per year? So I think that right now what we should be focusing on is just the adoption of XRP, the overall, use cases around XRP, the utility behind it, the fundamentals behind it, everything behind it. And I think that we should kind of come back down to earth and look at, prices that are a little bit more in our reach in the short-term time frame. Because yes, I do think that we could hit $100 to $500 plus. I think that with a lot of the burning mechanisms that are in place around the XRP ledger with XRP, and in my opinion, yes, we will have major TPS demanding use cases go live, which we will see a lot more XRP burned through that. And with all of the use cases, with all of the utility cases behind it, with everything happening behind Ripple with XRP, I don't see a future where XRP isn't at a much, much higher valuation. Do I think that we could hit $500 plus? Yes, I do. But it's the question on like, okay, what's a time frame on it? And I don't want people missing out on wealth. I think that, if you believe that there's going to be a $589 XRP, if you think that there's going to be a 500 plus XRP, then hold, a substantial amount on the sidelines for, that day, if that day does come, and have that bag that of XRP that you feel confident selling between, we'll say, $5 to $50, and take your profit whenever those prices are met. Because again, you don't want to miss out on taking profit and being able to reinvest it. And no, it's not like a bad thing either. A lot of people will tell you like, why would you ever sell XRP at $5, at $10, at $50? Like to me, the minimum target for me on XRP, if I wanted to sell XRP, would be $10. I just don't care to sell XRP under $10 because I know that at some point in time, XRP will hit the double-digit plus figure, and I think that it's going to be a very monumental day in history. But I also have a bag of XRP that I just will never sell. I just don't care to sell that bag of XRP, and it is a substantial amount that I feel confident about holding forever because, to me, XRP will be around forever. I don't care what the SEC is saying about XRP. I don't care what the, SEC is saying about Ripple. In my opinion, utility does shine the brightest in this market, and it will shine the brightest in this market going forward. I think that once we do see regulations, tokens like XRP will be the spotlighted attention tokens. I think that a lot of people will realize that real world value means a lot more than speculative store of value or, speculative use case. And I think that that's where we will start to see a big change in not only the value of how these, tokens react, but I think that we will see a big reaction from the general public as well around some of these tokens. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.